Up next, everyone, we are excited without further ado to introduce our next esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Sudeep Saxena, the founder of Gabbar. Mr. Sudeep is a finance veteran with 5 years of experience in the crypto industry and a total experience of 24 years in the finance space. His accomplishments are nothing short of awe-inspiring, and his insight promises to ignite our imaginations and spark meaningful conversation. Here to speak about what we can learn from FTX's journey, everyone, please put your hands together in a massive round of applause for Mr. Sudeep.
Hello, everyone. So I'll just start off and taking a cue from the last discussion that happened with the panel. So one thing that Chi from Deloitte was telling about is that regulations, compliances, these are a very important feature of this current state of the industry. And that is what I can't agree more with. And of course, Daniel, who's building an NFT thing, he also said the same thing, that I will not be easily handing over my business to somebody, some regulatory authority or something who just wants to come and dominate me. But we have to strike a fine balance between the two. And we have seen, I mean, in the Web3 world, in the crypto world, who doesn't remember FTX? We have seen it all. So if we just talk about what the journey of FTX was back there, just a few things about the timeline, how it was founded, how people actually drew funding out of it, how people made money, not just SBF, a lot of people. I mean, there were some big names involved. But the time is not the basic thing that we should talk about. What we should be talking about is what exactly happened with FTX. So what happened was there was a bull run in the crypto market. Nobody can deny that. The next thing that happened is all were bullish about the crypto market. There were a lot of people talking about invest in crypto, become a million overnight. And a lot of people actually became millionaires or billionaires by investing small sum of money. But that is what was the state of an early stage market. There was a very exaggerated narrative, and everybody came down and just earned money from that. And that was the biggest problem with the crypto industry. But that has not only been the problem of crypto industry, that has also been the narrative of the investors who pumped in money like anything in that times, so that this thing can survive, this thing can be big in the times to come, because everybody was earning money. But what happened next was a simple thing. There was the fault in the whole ecosystem, the whole narrative that we were talking about. We were all optimists, and we were all very optimistic about the event that was going on. I mean, the market was on the rise. Bitcoin started from somewhere like 15,000, reached to $60,000 plus, and everybody was earning money. But the problem was basic regulations were missing. So anybody who invested, who came to the market, did not know if he's scammed, if he's frauded, where to go to. There was no government, there was no regulation, and there was a bandwagon kind of an effect building among investors, that if you have not invested in FTX, or you have not invested in the crypto assets right now, then you are on the losing end. You are losing some big wave that is coming in the times. And that is where the problem happened. And market-based investment, I mean the technical chart-based investment on the rise was basically driving the force, rather than actually going for a research-based investment as to what is the basis of crypto, or what is the basis of blockchain technology that is actually dominating the world. And that became a big problem. So if we talk about the state of the market right now, the basic things about the market is that crypto is still in a very, very early stage of development. If we talk about that, I mean, majority of the people actually do not understand the technology, barring a few. I mean, even if you go to the stalls outside, there are some beautiful projects building up. But when you talk about the basics, you will be able to get half of what they are actually telling you. The reason is there is no education. There is still no priority about it. I mean, even in the technical colleges, the engineering colleges you talk about, there is no course on blockchain. There's nobody who is teaching blockchain. So you get out in the pond, you jump into the water, and then you learn how to swim. And that is becoming the biggest problem with this industry right now. And that is where there's a problem, that is, there's no research, and there's no complete information. So the complete information in this industry in particular is a far-fetched dream. Telling you guys, I have been working with the regulators. I have been teaching regulators back there in India about what the actual narrative of crypto industry is, or what is the use of crypto in the blockchain world is. But it takes a lot of time for the senior people to understand that how can a money which is not driven by the government ecosystem coming into the market and taking everything by its own stride. And that is the problem. They are not able to understand the fundamental research that is coming, that is required for the crypto industry. And of course, the regulations, if they come, I mean, if there are regulators, then it is tough for them, for the investors whenever the regulation comes, because then all your money will be taken away either by the tax authorities or by somebody in the time. So if we talk about this, if we talk about what stock market was, global stock market was in 80s and how it came from, and the crypto has seen the same first cycle, how can we get away from that? How can we avoid a repetition? So first thing is, there should be a well-researched approach to the investment. Because right now, crypto investment is all about hype, all about making a narrative, all about setting a parameter and telling that this project is going to be the next big thing, rather than actually talking about what the fundamental is. Second is regulatory environment. So telling you guys, regulation is not bad. People in the crypto industry are considering regulation is actually cutting their wings off. But frankly, regulation is not a bad thing. Regulation are actually there. They exist to save retail investors like us to be protected from somebody scamming you. So a lot of scams happened, a lot of meme coins, people call them shit coins, came, swept away all the money, vanished within 72 hours of their existence. We all can say Squid Games, the token on the Squid Games came, it vanished in 72 hours of its existence, took millions of funds from the investors, and then it went off. So had there been a regulation, there would definitely have been a lot of checks, a lot of points so that the person cannot run. And of course, a self-regulatory environment for the projects which are running the market is most required. Transparency is the key. We say decentralization is transparency, blockchain is transparency, but actually the level of transparency right now in the crypto industry is totally missing. And above all, I cannot emphasize the point more, is that education is the key that is coming in the times. So when we talk about a research-based investment approach, the first thing is that fundamental research that we do in the stock markets, that we do in the other things, is actually not a priority right now. Everybody is talking about charts, the project, who is it backed by, who is the founder? Is the founder an expat of some of the existing crypto project, or has been there? That is what is driving a project rather than an actual mechanism of what the project is all about. Second thing is, most of the projects, I'll be blunt in saying this, that most of the projects right now are not building on fundamentals. Basically, the projects are building on learn to earn, run to earn, do this to earn, do that to earn. But that is an ecosystem they are building within themselves. And it is actually not a thing that will survive for a longer run if you are not backed by solid fundamentals. And that is what is missing. That was missing in the stock market in the early 80s. And that is why we see a big fall in the stock market that time. And it came back when it grew some fundamentals and came back solid after that. So the problem, I mean, if we talk about any technology, what is the basis of a technology evolution, or what is the basis of a technology coming into picture? The technology should be able to solve a real life problem. Right now, the only hype, I am being a bit counterintuitive this time, but the only hype right now in the crypto space is all about we are solving the problem of centralization. We are basically decentralizing the world. But actually, are you decentralizing enough? I mean, I have seen DAOs having founders. How can a DAO have a founder? So even if I had a founder, what are the number of validators in a DAO? So these are a few questions that we need to ask. And basically, they should come rather to the problem-solving approach. This is what I've seen crypto industry evolve into in the last 1 year. So a lot of projects have gone, a lot of new projects have come, and they are actually working on solving a real-life problem, like the real-world asset monetization the last panel was discussing about. So these are the things which actually matter. These are the things which actually take shape. And basically, any technology should come forward to make your life easy, not to make it more complicated so that you don't even understand the technology and you don't even understand what problem is it solving. So these are the things people should be rather concentrated upon. If we talk about why regulatory environment is needed, so first of the things is that regulation is not just required to control, it is also required to save you from the fraudsters, from the people who are just trying to scam you. Second thing is the regulation is there to set a base in the different geographies. So you might be having one set of people sitting in a country, you might be having a different mindset of people sitting in a different country. But when they all come together and find a parity between all these things, that is where the regulation will become very important. And what my recommendation to the regulators, to the government authorities is, they should be focusing on supporting the project solving the real life problem rather than just banning the crypto on the whole. That has been the case with the recent, if you say, G20 summit. They have accepted, they have actually taken a consideration of the FSB IMF paper when they were talking about the crypto assets, so the virtual digital assets as the government call it. So if we talk about this in the regulatory scenario, then if crypto is accepted as a mainstream technology for problem solution, investment can always come, and we will all see the light of the day as taking crypto to be the equity to a blockchain rather than just an investment option. So that is one thing that we can talk about. If we talk about self-regulations, then there are things that regulate ourselves, if you can regulate the industry ourselves. So when the FTX fiasco happened, number of exchanges came to KYC norms so that you actually understand who is trading on your platform. Projects were actually declaring their financials openly. They started declaring their liabilities, their assets. One of the steps that the projects took was proof of reserves. So a lot of actual exchanges declared proof of reserve. I'm proud to be the co-founder of one of the companies who has the tech, and we have done proof of reserve for 3 exchanges, large exchanges in India. So that actually reflects the real assets held by them on a real-time basis on whatever exchange account, whatever wallet, whatever blockchain they are operating. So they are holding those assets, and we are actually telling them live on a real-time basis that these assets are held. So exchanges have come forward, and they have actually gone for a voluntary audit, including the proof of reserve, so as to make these things shine, so as to make the market more transparent and to tell the people that there are some people who are actually caring about the investors and who are actually thinking about how the market should be driven. If we talk about the transparency, so I must say that is my recommendation to the builders, to the project owners out there, is that first of the things that information should be clearly available about the projects, and whatever technology you're building, you should not just prepare a white paper, you should also have a concept paper. You should also have a paper that can be understood by a common man in the most basic languages if you want yourself to be trusted by the retail investors who are out there in the market and counting on the crypto world to grow so that they can invest in the later times. So if you want to approach the public, if you want to approach a basic investor, you should rather focus on making your concept more legible, more easily explainable than just a technical mumbo jumbo, right? And relatable use cases, of course, with the real life assets coming up into real world asset coming into picture, with other things like, NFTs are finding a lot of utilities in the second stage with the actual crypto projects coming up, helping the governments in their data management, the blockchain projects, like number of private blockchains are going ahead with. So these are the things we should actually think about. And if you talk about other things, then the technological development should come to help in real life rather than doing anything else here. And education, as I emphasized enough, education is the only key in which you can make a technology more acceptable, because still majority of the people think, 90% of the people think crypto is a scam. And if we want to get out of it, we should actually tell them what concept of blockchain is, how actually it is made so beautiful, and how actually it is working. And I myself have been, as I told, I have been working with government authorities to derive a valuation mechanism. People still don't understand how a crypto asset is valued. So why not value it more properly? Why not have mechanisms so that people can find out whether an asset is overvalued at this point of time, or is it an undervalued asset? So these are the things we should look forward to. And the projects which are working on the real life use cases should be given prominence, should be made understood, should actually be taken over by proper investors. And blockchain education, as I always said, should be made a priority. And a few, say, non-crypto blockchain solutions should also come. It is all about crypto. We call crypto Expo. But let us see some projects which are coming just to support the blockchain ecosystem, like the private blockchains being utilized by the governments and others. So that is where the actual development lies, and that is where the transparency lies, and that is where we should all be focused upon, because that's the way to the future. So if I sum up in few points, then the basic thing that will help crypto grow from future, or this world grow into the future, is first, we need to be transparent about the projects we are building. The projects should be solving a real life utility or real life problem. And the third thing, it should be transparently explained to the public what this technology is and how it is going to help the people. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.